Welcome back, TCG Squad. I want to share some exciting news with you. I wanted to share my experience at my very first Star Wars Unlimited Planetary Qualifier. This was my first high-level event, and let me tell you, it was a wild ride, but so much fun. Just to give you a bit of a context, the Planetary Qualifier is one of the bigger events for Star Wars Unlimited right now. It attracts some of the top players and is designed to not only test your deck building skills, but your ability to make decisions and pilot your deck. I knew going into this it was going to be tough, but I was generally there just to have some fun and explore how well I did. Preparing for the event, unfortunately, I didn't actually do much preparation for this event. I happened to go out of town or all overseas and was traveling for a vacation for almost 2 weeks. So I didn't play 2 full weeks of this game. And the week before that, I had these mandatory on-site week meetings at work. So there was almost 3 weeks of I didn't play any games. So I ended up just going to what I've been playing at locals that I felt very comfortable with. So what I ended up going with, it was Boba Space Air. So let me go ahead and bring up that deck list and we'll show you what my deck was. And then I'll give a round by round tournament breakdown, let you know how I did. Alright guys, here is my deck list for Boba Red. It's an air, focused on air, but let's go ahead and review this. Obviously my leader is Boba Fett, right? He's one of the best leaders in the game, if not after the results I've seen from this, the first Planetary Qualifiers. I think Boba Fett is the best leader in the game. For my base, I just went with a basic 30 cost red base. I went with Death Watch Hideout because I had a hyperspace foil of it. That was it. There's no other reason why I didn't pick a different base. Now, some people do use Tarkin Town, but this is not the way I play the deck. But let's go ahead and look at the units. We have 3 Death Star Stormtroopers, 3 Greedos, 3 Daring Raids, 3 Force Chokes, 2 Cartel Spacers, 3 No Good To Me Dead, 3 Kylo's TIE Silencers, 3 Bazine Natals, 3 Surprise Strike, 3 7 Fleet Defenders, 3 Waylays, 3 Punishing Ones, 3 Lurking TIE Phantoms, 3 Triple Dark Raids, 3 TIE Advance, 3 Ruthless Raider, and 3 Fett's Fire Spray. For my sideboard, I had 3 Wolves, 3 Disabling Fang Fighters, 2 Frozen in Carbonite, and 2 Pillage. Most of my deck is 3 ofs everything. The only caveats Cartel Spacers, I only have 2, and the only reason I only have 2 of them is because sometimes you don't have that other yellow unit that allows you to exhaust it. So if you really think about it, most of the time you'll have maybe Greedo or Bazine out when you can use Cartel Spacer. Otherwise, you're not really getting too much value. Now, there are 2 changes that I want to do to this. Obviously, I already said the Frozen in Carbonite. I would swap those for Confiscates for some of those more like blue control type decks. And after seeing some of the gameplay of the winner of a Neo who went with Boba Green, Boba armor is incredibly powerful for Boba, the leader side. So I think I'm going to end up dropping the 2 Cartel Spacers and adding 2 Boba's armor and see how that can help push my tempo when I am on the ground to help defeat my opponent quicker. All in all, I think I've talked about this deck very similar in one of my budget deck techs. This deck's a little bit more. It's not a budget deck, but it's still not very expensive compared to some of the other decks. Honestly, the Kylo TIE Silencer is probably the most expensive card in the deck. You can easily swap that out with 3 Mercenary Gunships, and you can save yourself a lot of costs in the deck. But overall, that was my deck. Now let's go ahead and get through each of my rounds. Tournament breakdown time. So let's get into it. Round 1, I faced off against a local player of the Garbage Rollers named Steven, and he was running a Rey with a yellow base. I admit I was actually a little nervous because I actually haven't played much matchups against Rey Yellow. And I was also worried about some of the just the amount of time I haven't played the game, period, due to my traveling and work. I ended up losing this game. I lost the first 2 games. Second round, I played a Bo-Katan Red. I actually won this game in two games. This game was against my buddy Daniel or Danny, who's part of the Next Issue podcast. I'll throw their channels in the description so you can go ahead and give them a like. That I played the game so much against him, and I know how his Bo-Katan deck works. I just knew that I need to just kind of control his units while I set up my space deck, because he doesn't have much space. And then honestly, I know because it's an aggro deck, they're going to try to play out the go wide, but they'll run out of cards fast. On my turn, resource 4 turn, I had a pillage, and I pillaged him. He only had 2 cards in hand, and since I was controlling his board pretty much the whole game, it just devastated him the game too. So I ended up just taking that and getting that 2 games to 0. So that puts me at overall 1-1. My round 3 opponent, I ended up playing Boss Blue. This was very hard. I think my opponent on game 1 healed about 20 damage, and it was wild. I just couldn't prevent it. So game 2, I did sideboard in Wolf and Disabling Fanfighter, but I didn't actually get the actual board setup I had like in the first game with my space. If I was able to do that similar setup but add in Wolf, I think I would have completely destroyed game 2, but it just didn't happen. And this is where I want to say where I think the additional confiscates would have helped. This game was very difficult. I lost the 2 games, and I was 1-2 at that moment. Round 4, I went into a Sabine ECL. I was surprised I didn't play one earlier. There was a lot of Sabines during the event, but game 1 I ended up losing. I think I should have used my Daring Raid on the base instead of one of his units, and I think that would have been essentially the game. But I made some changes on the way of strategy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go full aggression onto his base, full aggro, not try to control much as I can. So I managed to take game 2 and game 3 with 2-1. So at that point, I am 2-2. Going into round 5, I played a Palpatine Yellow. I won 2 games 0. First games were pretty straightforward. My space deck just dominated him. He just could not do anything on the space, and he didn't have many space himself to help defend his space. So I was just wrecking him. Like, the games were turning fast. I had the Lurking TIE Phantom. I had +4 experience counters, so that guy was swinging in for 8 when I was surprise striking for 11. He just didn't have any answer. Felt a little bit bad for him. He was from out of town, from San Antonio, but he was a good guy, so it was a good game. Round 6, another Sabine ECL. This was a 3-game series as well. I lost the first game, and then I won the game 2 and game 3. On this one, again, this Sabine had a little bit more of that healing package, so I did side in 1 Wolf, and then I added 2 Pillage as well when I lost the first game. And I think that made enough of a difference with Wolf to turn off the healing for some of the healing they had on the deck. And then the Pillage was great because I think I was able to pillage on one of their turns, and I got rid of Wrecker and Poe. And for me, again, I'm going to win. What was really lucky, I'll tell you this, on game 3, I took initiative. I top deck Surprise Strike with the Lurking TIE Fighter to do exactly 9 damage to kill them, and I completely won. So that game was a little bit lucky on my side, but at the same time, I was trying to go full aggression. If he would have done more or less a control path, I think he would have beat me. So after round 6, I'm currently sitting at 4-2. Last round was Bosk ECL, so green. This game, I got wrecked by Boss. I unfortunately never played against Bosk. I haven't never played against Boss, so I wasn't entirely sure what I needed to do. I realized after the first game, he's more of a mid-range deck, so he's really trying to control me till he brings out his big units like Vader, Maul to finish out the game, right? Part of my sideboard strategy, I added in some Frozen in Carbonites, Fang Fighters because of the bounties, and it still didn't really help. He just was wrecking my board state, especially once he got to Overwhelming Barrage. I was able to bazing one out of their hand, but it still just didn't make enough. Unfortunately, that game ended up wrecking me here. So all in all, I ended up going 4-3. So there was 107 people at the tournament. Out of that, I was at 4-3. My standing was position 49. So I was 49 out of 107. So right about average. All in all, I think this was actually very, very cool. I had not too shabby, honestly, for my first planetary qualifier. I also had almost 3 weeks of no practice with my deck. It definitely gave me a good sense of what to expect for this type of level of competition and what I need to start working on to moving forward. My goal, I don't really ever expect to win a regional when I play Star Wars Destiny. My goal is always to, can I get to the top 8? And that's usually been my goal. And I've made top 8 with Star Wars Destiny on a regional in Austin that had 120 people, and I was positioned number 8, and I made it, right? Again, this event just showed me how much fun and competitive Star Wars Unlimited can be. We also got some pricing for my 49th place finish, so I want to go ahead and go over what we got. So let's go ahead and look at that. So first of all, for playing, I got a legal authority promotional card. Pretty cool. Nothing crazy about it. It's just everyone that participated got one. So this is what we have. Now for my placing finishing, I got a Star Wars Unlimited little token box. So I'll probably give this away at a giveaway at a later time. And then we also got a Shadows of the Galaxy Initiative token. And then lastly, I was able to get 2 packs, one of each of sets. So let's go ahead and open these and see what we got. We'll start off with set 1, Spark of Rebellion. Boom. No showcase. That's all right. Got a hyperspace, resupply, disabling Fang Fighter, Strike Through, Swoop Racer, TIE Fighter, hyperspace, uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Okay, rare Count Dooku, and a foil. Okay, let's look at the set 2 pack, see if we got anything. Okay, nope, we got no showcase. So let's see here if we get anything good. Like Housecast Soldier, hyperspace, we take those. We take hyperspaces. Uncommon, uncommon, oh, Poe Dameron legendary. Oh, and a hyper foil Death Wash loyalist. Not bad. I got a legendary. So I think this legendary pays for the cost of the event. So that's actually worth it. Thanks for tuning in. Let me share my experience. If you ever played in a big tournament or played in a planetary qualifier, let me know in the comments how it went your first time and what you learned. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I got more content coming, including some deck techs, some tournament reports, and much more. See you next video, and may the Force be with you.